You're listening to Process Server Daily, the show where hustle meets strategy in the high-stakes world of process serving. From elite pros to the new servers taking massive action, these are the voices of a rising industry. Hosted by the founder of 123 Legal Support, Mighty Mike Reid. This is your backstage pass to building a profitable process serving empire. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to another episode of Process Server Daily. This is episode number 32, and I'm really excited to have a very special guest, Mr. Joshua Hutchinson. He's a process server and happens to be the president of HutchServes LLC, located out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and he's the secretary of the Tennessee Association over there. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. How are you?
Of course, yeah. Hey, listen, I love seeing all your posts inside the community and or engagement inside the community and what you're doing there with HutchServes. It's really cool to see a real professional, and excited to kind of dig into your business and what you're doing and what even got you started here. So again, welcome.
Glad to be here.
So tell us how was HutchServes born? Like what made you decide to become a process server?
Oh man, that is a long story.
2 minutes. You got 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm a senior in high school. We decided to have a foreign exchange student stay at our house. His guardian over here in the States is a family law lawyer. He is an Asian, just like, think of like you must get straight A's kind of Asian parent. He's that, but like personified in a family law lawyer, very business oriented mind, but really nice guy though. And this is back in California in the Bay Area. And he said, "Hey, do you want to drive up to Sacramento? I'll pay you $150 to file this thing." And I guess some things have to be filed in the Capitol.
Yeah.
And after doing it for him a few times, I was like, "Hey, what is this?" And he told me a little bit about it. And, a few years go by. I'm with my girlfriend and now wife, and all my disability money dried up because I have Crohn's disease. I've had over like 20 surgeries. And she said, "You need to find a job that works for you despite your health, because we don't know if your health's ever going to be, like 100% or anything." So I was like, well, serving papers, like I just go to people's houses. I can find a bathroom. I need to stop at the side of the road. It's not a job where I'm going to be fired or put on leave, or, it's self-employed. And I just called a couple local companies, and that was it, and just started. And as far as HutchServes, the name goes, in 2020, when California passed the AB5 bill, which I'm sure a lot of people know about in this industry, I was like, well, I have to create a company because I work for like 5 local companies and I can't be an employee of all of them. So I was like, well, my last name is Hutchinson, and like in high school, I went by Hutch. Same thing with my dad. I was like, HutchServes has a nice ring to it. Let's do it. Didn't really think too long and hard about it.
So what got you? So you were in California doing that, and what brought you out to Tennessee?
2 days before the lockdown started, we put our house in the market. So we had already planned to move and everything. It's just more of expenses and everything. We were looking at places to move out of California because we saw the writing on the wall of just how things were getting expensive. And my parents also wanted to move about 2019 or late 2018. And we're like, why don't you guys wait maybe like another year and we'll be ready to move, and let's pick a place together. So.
Oh, that's so cool. So you have a very interesting perspective. You can look at California, which is where I started serving, where you have like the judicial council forms, and it's all dialed in a certain way.
Yeah.
And every document type has a different proof type that you can literally look up, summons, proof of service of summons, proof of service of small claims court, proof of service of family law, right? Like you can start rattling them off, SC 104, all this. Take all of that and your experience with that and going to Tennessee. How has that transition been process serving wise?
About a month ago, we had to domesticate a subpoena in Marshall County, which is 3 or 4 counties below Nashville. 85% of Tennessee is rural, just in terms of, not many people living in the county, and they probably have who knows how many cities with only a few hundred people in it.
Huh.
And I told my server, hey, go domesticate this, blah, blah, blah. And the clerk of the court, like the county clerk, said, oh, no, this has to go to Secretary of State. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's going to an individual, not a company. Now, the defendant was a company. So it was listed as a company, but the person being served, was that. So there was just a lot of back and forth. And obviously, they don't have a form on their website. So I had to go to Knox County, which is Knoxville website, strip their form, go to, Adobe, whatever, or just put it into Google Docs, and had to redo it. I had to call them and be like, look, you just need to stamp, file, receive this, because that's the only way that this is going to work.
Yeah.
And there's probably there's 95 counties in the state. I'd say probably like more than 80 of them don't even know what a domesticated subpoena is.
Yeah. Are you doing that as a service now? Is that something you do regularly?
I just charge a little extra just for the domestication itself, the filing fee, and for the server to go there. I don't really offer it per se in terms of market it, but like, if someone asks, we just take care of it.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. For those of you guys who don't know, like domesticating a subpoena, generally when you're asking somebody to come and testify in court or to a deposition, that's when you use a subpoena. And if they're out of the state, that court has no jurisdiction over them for subpoenas, which is interesting because a summons does. Like a summons, you may not be in trouble in your local state, but if you lose a case, there's still a judgment against you if you're the person being served. The difference is, well, the summons, I'm the one being sued. Let's say in this case, I'm the defendant. I'm being sued. Whereas a subpoena is like, I'm just a bystander that you want to testify on a case that has nothing to do with me, other than me. Maybe I saw a license plate or something. So that's so cool. So tell me a little bit about your business there. Like, I really want to highlight and understand HutchServes there in Tennessee. You said there's only a few people in every city, every little town in Tennessee. It's very rural. So I have a bunch of things come from that with safety and how you serve. But first of all, like, what sets you apart from other companies there in Tennessee?
Well, I offer flat rates, but I have 3 different tiers of flat rates because there are obviously the metro counties, which is Nashville, Chattanooga, Knox, and Memphis. So those are just, a flat rate for those. Those are my lowest tier. And then I just have called like other Tennessee counties, and then I have remote counties. And those are also flat rate, but they're tiers. So the reason why that is, though, is because, even like every process serving company around here has that, because some states, it's like, hey, 75, 85 for the entire state flat rate. And, that works for them. But here in Tennessee, we have valleys, we have rivers, we have lakes, we have mountains, we have forests, like everything you can imaginable we have. And one county versus the other is very different. Like, for instance, we had this winter we had ice, we had ice storms. And there's this one county, I think it's Clay, it's northeastern, not like the super northeastern, but it's on the Kentucky border. And they went on Christmas break and they didn't get back to school until February because the roads were that bad. The school buses couldn't get out there because they had on break, and then we had a snowstorm probably near the end of the break, and then we had another snowstorm near the end of January. So it was like 45 days straight that the kids in those county didn't have to go to school. And
Wow.
that's really the difference. It's a lot of terrain difference. It's based on county, and it also depends on server too, because there are some servers that like they just want to do their county, or they just want to go to maybe one county over. Now some they'll go 2-3 counties over. They'll go 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And it really depends if that server is just their own company and it's just them, or if they, work with a few people. So
Wow. So you got the different rates and you got the different experience with all the different areas.
yeah,
How are you staying? I mean, what's your certification license in Tennessee? How does that work? Nothing.
18 and breathing, you can be a child molester and
Oh
keep
no.
documents.
Oh
No,
no.
no joke.
So what
And
do you is Tennessee doing something? Because you're the secretary, right? So you have a little bit of
so that
insight.
is something that we brought up in the meeting. We're like, let's get a training program together. Let's come up with some stuff that we can bring either to some legislation or to the AOC to be like, hey, let's get this stuff recognized, and let's maybe, because we don't want overregulation like California or
Right.
like Georgia or like North Carolina, where I know North Carolina, the documents have to go to a sheriff first. Now, there
Yeah.
are some companies that can bypass that, but they have to have really good standing with the court for
Hmm.
that first. But we don't want that. So we're hoping to try to go a unique route in terms of getting taps plugged in with the AOC or with the legislator, in terms of we can maybe set and be a give take two-way street, and we're going to try to go that route. It's probably going to take probably at minimum 2 years, but we have to put all the training modules, the curriculum, the
Yeah.
safety and all that stuff together before we can do anything. But that's something that we've been looking at. And I mean, this year's meeting, we didn't have speakers. It was just, all right, let's see how we can change the landscape. And it was just a lot of discussion.
Yeah, some of the biggest conferences out there, these association conferences, it's just a fun, social, it feels like a fun social networking type of event. And it is very engaging and fun. But some of the best times I've had it are going to those conferences. But I'll tell you, if it wasn't for state associations, then there wouldn't be process serving in certain states. Like California is very litigious, and they have big collection firms that are constantly trying to submit mailing bills that would essentially kill the process serving industry. So
Yeah.
I know NAPS is looking out for every state. They're trying to anyway, to look out for every state, and will go to bat for people like in Tennessee, for example. But they want local states to get chartered with them so
Yeah.
that you can have boots on the ground and
Mhm.
people to be experts in that state and in those laws, and to be able to teach it. So it's cool that you're doing it, and you're a young guy too. You're like ready to go build your business at the same time. You're, giving to your association of your time, which is all they can ask for, really. And it's so cool. So I really want people to know out there that like there's a difference between 18 and breathing person and someone like yourself that actually treats this like a business. So how are you taking things to the next level? Let's just like the next 2 years. What are you looking forward for HutchServes?
Oh man, hopefully get an office somewhere and get out of my home office so I can be more productive and have an address that I can, use for many different levels. Hopefully hire someone, because right now, like it has just been me. Like I don't
Yeah.
know how I've been doing it,
Yeah.
but I've somehow been doing it, but it's just been me. So hopefully to hire someone. Um, Yeah, hopefully get an office. I would say I'm also looking to expand into other states, and I have a unique business model when it comes to out of state work. I'm mostly just trying to find other companies who do cover their entire state for a flat rate.
Mm.
And I'll tell my clients, hey, I can cover like these other states. They're going to be more expensive than, my Tennessee rates. But, if you don't have the time, to go out and find someone and build a relationship, know that I have you covered. I did that legwork, so.
Well, attorneys generally like it. In my experience, they prefer that if they already trust you and you're already doing a great job for them, they
Exactly.
trust you to reach out and find other professionals like yourself,
Mhm.
because when somebody's telling you no answer and they don't give you any details, they never attempted it, right? Like you kind of pick up on those little signs with process servers where you can kind of call them to the carpet and stuff. But it's cool that we have a professional like you in our community on the directory, mightyprocessserver.com. If you guys are listening to this and you're like, hey, you know, I like what he's got going on there in Tennessee, I'd encourage you to reach out to him at HutchServes.
Hey, quick break from the episode to tell you about something that's changing the game for process servers across the country. It's called Mighty Process Servers. And yeah, you can join absolutely free. Inside, you'll get full access to every course, every download, and the educational tools that we use to help process servers build profitable companies. We meet every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern for our live Mighty Mastermind call. Come join the conversation. You can connect with other professionals, post on the discussion board, direct message members, and become part of one of the most engaged communities for process servers. Don't wait. Go to mightyprocessserver.com and join today. Those who get verified get listed and start bidding on jobs same day. Now, let's get back to the show.
How can everybody reach out to you? What info do you want to share?
Yeah, it's just HutchServes.org. Super simple, super easy. Email is HutchServes1419 @gmail.com. That 1419 is was my California number ID,
Oh,
and I'm probably gonna get a new email at some point, but I'm just leaving it there for now. And yeah, do that. I mean, HutchServes.org is probably the best way. You'll find my everything there. I'd say another unique business model that I'm starting to do in practice is when I talk to my local servers, um, or just other companies in general, or companies out of state, I tell them like, hey, like I have these, like right now I have 15 states covered. I don't get a lot of work for those states, but that's fine. I still got them covered. I tell them,
yeah,
hey, tell your clients you have these states covered. Like these are my rates, so now you know that you know what you need to charge to make some money. Just tell them like, hey, you got this covered now.
yeah,
And it's actually been working slowly. I think I just have to keep at it, and it'll start to grow. And I'm starting to help my servers in general that don't have their own company. I'm telling them, hey, like I know I'm never going to reach your local law firms. Like I don't have the time to reach, your local law firms. They're going to want you because you're the person that goes in there that drops off the affidavit personally. They know you because it's a small town. I
yeah,
mean, like all of them are small towns. So I tell them like, hey, just create a company, like create a DBA, LLC, whatever you want to do, and you know, just tell them you have the entire state covered,
yeah.
and I got you covered.
Network with others. Yeah,
Yeah, I tell them like, hey, you're in Memphis, or you're in, for instance, one of these counties. It's called Decatur.
yeah,
It's boo-funk nowhere, boonies, but there's probably a law firm somewhere, and that lawyer needs someone served, somewhere else, just like anywhere else. And I tell them, create a company, create a rate sheet, or I'll even help you with that, so we both make money, and we can charge the same rates locally for each other. We can upcharge a little bit for, stuff out of our areas, and let's just work together. I mean, I'm finding that helps a lot.
yeah.
I'm just starting to do that. So
Well, it's good whenever you help other people and you give and you keep doing what you're doing as a professional, but you try to give back. That's why I created Mighty Process Server in the first place, was to create a community and a place for free for people who are new, that I call them the free people, because when you're new, you don't know what you can trust. And so once you
yeah,
get in there and you learn, oh, this is the business. This is how I do it. I do my market research. I do the backup script. I comment and network with people like, all over the country. And if you come to the mastermind meetings, you find out really fast that there's a lot of people who are very engaged, who are also very willing to help you. And I appreciate you coming on the show. And guys, reach out. Okay, reach out. He gave you all the information you need. And man, I just appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, and if I can plug you and your website and community for a little bit. I mean, I know I don't have a lot of time to like look at a lot of your stuff, but I remember when you were maybe about a year ago when you were first starting to build this thing, you talk about be the backup, go into the local law firm and show your face, drop a rate sheet, maybe you don't swing by every week, but swing by once a month.
Yeah.
And one of my good law firm clients, like I gained just from doing that, like exactly. And they just gave me a job in Cincinnati, Ohio, which they could have mailed, like certified mail, $10, but they gave it to me. Yeah. So it does work, and the community is great. And I truly think that this form of community for process servers, either state association, either online through, various like Discord or this or whatever it is probably the future of servers sticking together to fight against the big bucks companies.
Yeah. I don't talk about that a whole lot, but because I know that when people first start, I don't want them to think that they're evil. Like, these guys have contracts. They have hundreds
not
of
evil.
jobs.
They just don't want to pay your worth.
Yeah, exactly. Or do you have much worth when you first start? That might be another way to look at it too.
And you know what? I started with ABC when I moved out here first, and with Provest, because they had all the work. I found out very quickly it is cutthroat out here.
Okay.
And people will steal your clients. Yeah. Like they'll undercut you. They'll do anything. It's just how it is out here. And I remember in California, that's not how it was. Like I lived in the East Bay, and East Bay companies knew the West Bay companies, vice versa. South Bay knew the North Bay companies, and literally like, hey, my server's out in the West Bay. Like, can we just give it to you? Like that would literally happen all the time. I remember hearing people on the phone while I was in the office signing affidavits or whatever, like people were making that calls. So
yeah, it's professional courtesy. Yeah. But when you get off in the sticks, you just never know. Like I'm in New Mexico here, and it's like, there's nobody, and the people who are, not as professional, but it's good. It's good. It gives an opportunity for you, if you can be professional, to dominate that local market. And I appreciate all the tips, appreciate the feedback, and just keep bringing it, man. Don't give up, and you'll get your office soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing how HutchServes dominates Tennessee. Keep it up, man.
Thanks, Mighty Mike. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Take care. Live mighty.
That's a wrap on another episode of Process Server Daily, where the legal support industry levels up. Want to grow your process serving business with the best marketing tools, the most engaged community, and the highest ranking directory online? Visit mightyprocessserver.com. Claim your listing. Join our free community. Surround yourself with process servers who get it, and build something real. From the field to the courtroom, this is Process Server Daily. Until next time, stay safe out there and live mighty.